Ladies and gentlemen, here they are, late to the gate and racing out of lane 8. Your men, Dex, Boota and Isid.
Riders ready, watch the gate.
Bikes to the van, phone in hand, BMX track in the foreign land. Dex missed his flight, it's late, I don't know why we're late to the gate. And bikes, we ride all night. Euro trips and ride our hype. From nationals to car park chats, we chase that dream in new era caps. Sugar daddies in the VIP. BMX moms still faster than me. Dex and Boona, it's a tune. Talking trash, we ride it true. Baggy jeans and studded belts. The body is chaos, nothing else. Clips or flats, deadlifts or squats. Still arguing like it means a lot. Crank it up to 99. UK tracks with Euro lines. We're always slow, we talk a lot. But for real, this is all we've got. Late to the day, y'all.
Here we are, back late to the gate, and you'll notice we've got a guest for the first time ever. Ross, welcome.
Pleasure to be here, gents.
He's here. It just made sense, didn't it? Let's be honest.
Let's be fair, he's bringing up the quality of the pod. It's quite considerably, really, considering what we normally talk about. Getting a consummate professional on board is nice.
Well, that's it. But we've only got 30 minutes because his dinner's on. His dinner's in the oven, so we're going to have to get into a few questions quickly, and then I reckon we should go through the prize as well.
Do it.
So what's been going on? I think we've got a few questions for you. How's your recovery going?
All right. I think it's a good chance to talk about it. It was a bit longer than expected. The shoulder, as you can see, the metal work is
fighter.
It's poking out a bit. So potentially another surgery might be needed. We're not sure yet. After the grands, we might have to get some stuff out, which is not ideal, but that's part of the game, right? The bit I struggled with most was my head. So after I saw you two in Copenhagen, all was well, kind of just recovering with the shoulder. And then about 2 weeks after that, I kind of started having some weird episodes, losing sight, losing hearing, feeling really dizzy, really confused, almost a bit drunk. And I basically got diagnosed with quite a bad concussion, which on set, my nervous system was just all over the show. I had like a resting heart rate normally of like 50. It was up at like 90 something for a couple of days. My HRV was all over the show. So I've been rehabbing a concussion behind the scenes since then, basically. So it's getting there. I've been back to training for kind of 4 or 5 weeks full time now. But I'm not going to lie, some days are still better than others. Still struggle some days. Some days I'm completely fine. So, it's not a joke. I think I didn't realise how hard I'd actually hit my head when we watched the crash back. Yeah. It was pretty savage. I was thankful.
It was massive, wasn't it? I mean, how long was it since you crashed? Did they say you've got concussion then?
I mean, straight away, they knew I banged my head. So they said I've got like a small concussion, but I didn't feel any symptoms. I had no headaches. I had no real eye fatigue, nothing. And then it was post-surgery, probably about 3 weeks post-surgery. So probably 4 or 5 weeks post-crash. I think 5 weeks I started having like weird turns, basically, which I thought was really strange. But I got sent to Hobbs, which are concussion rehab specialists, and they kind of said they do see it sometimes. It can be kind of brought on by stress or trauma can stir it back up. But yeah, it cooked up a bit of a storm because I'm not going to lie, I was having some really weird episodes, like even trying to choose a drink at a shop or something had put me in almost like a panic attack. Like I'd be really short, be sweating. No, yeah, really not good. So yeah, I think we're over the top of the peak, but yeah, I'm excited to race Grands. That's the only reason I'm going. Is it's something in the calendar, hopefully a bit of redemption from what was missed this year.
Is that your first Grands?
Never been, yeah. So this is a year to do it. Olympic points start next year. So I've said every year I'm going to do it, and I never have. So this year's the year. And I think, to be fair, like I've trained for it, but what can we expect? I mean, all the Europeans seem to get motoed there anyway because it's standard.
Yeah, but there's such a different technique, isn't it?
Go on,
He's a
Booter, you
different
go.
gravy. I've seen you pushing that big cog on Preston's Hill, so I'm guessing you've been getting to Fishwick Park just to, is it Fishwick or Flitwick actually? Fishwick, just for that flat hill start. Is that what you're thinking? Just try and get used to that 1, 2, 3. And
Yeah, for sure. I'm not going to lie, that's been my favourite session. So for the past 6 weeks, I've done a Preston Tuesday night every night, and it's rained every week so far, apart from one. I don't know what's going on. It's been my favourite session of the week. Like tonight, I stayed way longer than I was meant to, did more efforts than I was meant to. I feel it's almost a bit, like a blast from the past, being back at my local club, riding. I felt just like a kid would. So I think, I'm really enjoying it. But on a training side, Kev's had me overgeared for a couple of weeks on that hill, which wasn't nice. I mean, I think Kev had me we did some uphill sprints the other week on a 55.16, which nearly put me in the infirmary after that. So.
Sounds horrendous.
How'd you get that moving? How'd you get that one moving?
I think it was 3 pedals for 60 meters.
big old dinner plate. I think, I think, I think there's always going to be a flat hill. You're sounding like you're getting going from absolute dead man on every kind of effort that you're doing. Yeah, the grands. I can see it. I can see it going. I can see
it's
it.
Crazy
going
to
well
think
for
you
you.
haven't done the grands. Yeah, it's crazy to think in all the races you have done, the grands just hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, no, I mean, as a kid, obviously, as a family growing up, I had a sister as well, so mum and dad couldn't spend all the budget just on me, so we normally used to miss something every year, like New Zealand Worlds. I won the Worlds in 2012. We didn't actually go 2013 in New Zealand because mum and dad were like, we can't justify it as a 12-year-old kid. It's a lot of money, so we chose to do other stuff over the years, and Grands was never one that me and or dad ever thought we'd do. We always did like Cortrix, we did Calm, we did Saint Etienne, because them races, like if Cortrix came back, that'd be my favourite thing. Like the memories I had kind of there as a kid with Finn Hall, Ewan Hunt, Jacob Watkinson, and all the other crew that used to go. They were the days. I think that they were better than Grands anyway. Nowhere near as big, but definitely better.
Grands is a weird one though, because it falls, for us Europeans, it falls at the wrong time. It's the end of the season. Everyone's shutting down. Everyone's going into winter training or just had enough of BMX at that point just for a bit of a reset. And then it's Grands. And then as a kid, to go to the Grands, you're waiting hours and hours between races, whereas the elites, you're going to have set times when your races are. So it's not as a bigger day for you, is it, I suppose?
No, I think they're running them a lap on the hour every hour, so it shouldn't be too... it's probably similar to a World Cup up until probably quarters or semis. But yeah, I just don't know what to expect, because there's just going to be some random American guy that you've never seen before that's going to put 3 bikes into me first starting practice. I'm going to think, like, who is this?
Some kid without a passport, isn't it? Because they don't have passports, so they never leave the country.
100%. Now, I feel like so many of the American guys are just great off them hills, because obviously it's their norm, where I know we've been hit with the blanket over the years of we ride under a roof on an 8-meter hill every session. And that's something I'm trying to change. I'm trying to get to different tracks as much as I can. I ride Preston once a week. I've not been on the 8-meter now since I came back. I've not done a start on it yet by choice. I think it's quite important to mix it up, because we do fall into a bad habit of just going up and just doing 8-meter starts, where I think the sport's a bit broader, isn't it?
Would you get rid of the 8-meter if you had the opportunity? If they said, what hill do you want to ride off? What would you say?
I go 8-meter, only because that's where my strengths lie. Like, I think I'm way better on an 8-meter hill than I am a 5-meter or a flat hill, but that's just because it's what I ride more often. But yeah, I would like to get better at small hills. I think it's, as a fundamental, you can't go wrong. If you're good on a small hill, you're going to be good on an 8-meter hill. That's just how it works.
Yeah, man. Who's going to drive questions?
I've got one I want to ask.
Dex, you've got a load,
we had a bit of a goat, and it wasn't a goat debate last time, but we talked about our dream final and some of the riders that would be in there, and it caused a lot of debate in the comments as well. So we got some good comments on Instagram as a consequence of it. But one of the things I was thinking is, you coming in where you're at elite level now, there's still some people in the sport that were a fair bit older that would have been your heroes when you were growing up.
Yeah.
How have you transitioned mentally from going, you're a hero on a pedestal, but now I just need to take you off and turn you into a meat bag that I need to get past on the track? Have you gone through a conscious adjustment to make that happen?
Yeah, I think It's different. So I think I can appreciate other riders and their skill set and how fast they are, and I can watch them do a start in a World Cup practice and be like, mate, that was a bullet. Like I'll tell myself like, yeah, he's pretty fast. But the difference is, I think come race time, that's when you need to switch it on and block it out. But that's took years of work, and I think that's something I fell into a big trap in, and why it took me so long to get to where I am. Because arguably, I feel like I've had the potential to be winning and podium a lot more, well, more races for the past 3-4 years. Technically, I've not got that much faster. The difference is all mental. So I think, like, I did my all-time hill PB at Manchester. I got the record a week before the World Champs in 2023. I've still not gone faster than that. I've touched near it. So on paper, I've not got any faster, but my results have changed massively. And I think for me, it's all about delivery, consistency, and just putting out an 8 out of 10 every time, no matter who's next to you. But I can't act too cool. I mean, I was out for a coffee with Maris a couple of days ago in Manchester. And I must admit, like, it was all normal. We're chatting away. And then I was just looking, thinking, like, if you told me, I remember watching him at the Olympics when he won. And if you told me in so many years' time you're just going to be having a flat white with him talking about golf, I'd be like, there's no way. So, like, it was almost, I don't want to say a fanboy moment, because it wasn't, but it was almost like an appreciation of kind of him and what he's done for the sport. But I tell you what, he's a freak of nature, that man. Like, he's some bloke. Like, when you look at him as a structure, he's just like genetically, he's built incredibly. I'm not surprised he was that fast. I'm pretty
Machine
happy.
for a reason, isn't he? That's why he was called the Machine.
I'm so happy I didn't line up next to him. I feel like he could absolutely rip one off.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
Why is he? Is he still? I saw him do some like sort of pulls out of like Valmera turn when he was just playing around on a bike, and I thought, this guy's still got it. Does he ride? Does he train?
I asked him. I said, mate, like, even gym stuff, because he looked in great shape. Like, he looked really
incredible.
And he was like, no, not really. He was like, I play golf a lot. He said he does gym. Yeah, he does a little bit of gym every now and again, but he doesn't follow a program. It's just different when he wants. He rides a little bit during coaching sessions, but he didn't like say he trains much. He's just, obviously, genetically, he's been done very well.
I think he could rock up to Masters and do a bit, you know. Like, he's still, like you say, I saw that.
Do a bit. I think he's got
do
it.
more than a bit in Masters. I think he's still elite.
No. He's not going he's going into Masters, and he'll win the flipping thing. If he rocks up
when you say do a bit, I'm saying him or Corey Frieswick. Come on.
Yeah.
When I say do a bit, I'm saying he's going to do a bit. You know what I mean?
I think he'll be getting that hill time still. I'm with Ross in saying that he's just a specimen.
Yeah, 100%. Also a follower of the pod now.
He liked the debate about Maris on his day will beat the GOAT. Yeah, he enjoyed
I've got
that
to say,
on Instagram.
he might end up bloody being my GOAT at this rate if he keeps going like that. Joris, you need to follow, otherwise
there you go.
He's changing that.
So
Can you imagine rocking up at Masters and finding out he's on the gate next to you? You'd go, that's it now.
I think I'd be scared. Never mind Masters.
It's funny. So, on that GOAT debate, actually, what got most people talking was Sean's point about he believes Joris is the GOAT, but on a one lap, Maris would pull it. What's your take, Ross?
It's hard. I mean, everyone throws this GOAT status around. I think for me, like, 3 simple people come to mind. If I think like the greatest of all time that I feel like I've seen and watched, my 3, it's just no shock. I'd go Sam, Joris, and probably Maris. Maris he's won 2 Olympic gold medals. No one can ever tell him, oh, he wasn't that great. Like, he's the only guy that's ever done it. I think Sam, there's just something about how he used to race. He's just incredible. Like, he was just so technical on his bike. I've not seen anyone. Yeah, he looked even faster than he was. It was almost like
intense.
He was obviously unreal. And then Joris, like, you just can't fault him, mate. The guy's 33 and he's still doing what he's doing. It's pretty cool. And I think for Joris, it's more of like a mental game. Like, I think he's probably got the best mental game out there, I'd say. I think he just seems to deliver, like, time after time after time. People have seasons or people have races, but he's just seemed to lock it in. I think there's a few of them French guys that do it. It's impressive.
He just looks chilled, doesn't he? But yeah, they were the three that we talked about, and we said our knowledge doesn't go too far back. I mean, I started racing in '91, so like, and it was completely different era of BMX. Oh, we could talk all day about goats and not goat, who is and who isn't. So yeah, you've gone safe and said those three. You haven't even put one out there, even if after having a coffee with one of them.
Yeah, it's hard to say because I mean, I think it's a bit harder for me because not to like bring it back, but I was born in 2001. So when I started in 2007, early 2008, I was still pretty young. So even like watching Maris and watching Sam, like it's not like I was in my 20s and I could really understand it. I watch it back now, understand, but. And then Joris, it's hard because I know he's probably the goat of the sport, but I've still got to line up and race him at every World Cup, so I don't want to.
Yeah, you can't pay him off too much.
So yeah, I don't know. I think there's loads of people you could say, but to my mind, them three stand out. But even Sylvan's like just got something up him. He's the sort of guy that can pull something off that no one else can, and just do it effortlessly time after time. So. There's quite a few people, but yeah, I think them three are my top.
Well, whilst we're reminiscing, I want to hear some kind of old school stories because the people on this pod, they do love an old school story. So obviously, you're saying that I didn't realise you're Millennium Kid. That makes me feel sick.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I don't know. I feel old now. I don't feel young, but I think I'm still a bit of a pup. I think if I think of growing up in my early stages of racing, the only place that comes to mind is Cheddar. Not even from a racing side. Like that clubhouse was the most feral thing ever.
Yeah.
I'm going to apologise to my dad here, and if I can find the picture, I'll send it in. But I remember he dressed up as they got him dressed up as a woman one night before I won the Brit. Dancing around the stage with Jamie Hall, and like it was a weirdly great place. Like that was the perfect BMX venue. I feel like everyone stayed there. Like there was enough cabins that everyone stayed on site. The pump track was always booming. Someone was always fighting. There was always a
It's funny that we recall them kind of things, isn't it? You got to get that photo, Ross, so we can get it on the thumbnail.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think everyone's got those kind of. It was everything at BMX, and I feel like we didn't appreciate it at the time. And I know Ross, you're a lot younger, but it became a little bit normalized, and to think back and you think, oh my word, the investment that was actually put in to be able to hold European championships, multiple Euro rounds, multiple Brits. We sort of we've lost that a little bit. We've lost that kind of like hold all facility that can do anything.
It was definitely ahead of its time.
Oh yeah, massively.
100%. It was mental. But I can't remember who it was. I don't know if it was, I don't want to say the name in case it wasn't. It's someone from Nottingham. I remember towards the end of the Cheddar days, British Cycling started giving out the really small trophies for the podiums. And I can't remember who it was, but I remember someone got a real shouting at because he threw it off the stage. Remember they had the big book? That was nasty. And just thinking like back then, everyone used to chuck stuff in the crowd. Like, I feel like it's not really done anymore. You had like probably me as like an 8 or a 9-year-old boy in everything I had in the crowd, mate. I probably would have chucked my shirt if my dad would have let me. Like, it was just a dumb thing. I don't know. And then I think of Cheddar. I know Bloomy's going to love me saying this, but the only thing that sticks out in my mind in Cheddar is when Bloom won that very special race.
For his old man.
Yeah. I don't know. That's my one thing. I remember watching that as a kid and thinking that was like the coolest thing ever.
I'm sure he almost won a Euro round as well, you know. Can you remember that? I'm sure he was leading and he bonked it.
The bonk.
Oh,
I missed that one.
He did.
Can bring that one up with him.
He did the biggest. It was a pickup manual, and it was on the long double on the third straight. So it was like pick up, real flat manual through it, don't. And I forgot who it was that took it. It might have been like Hamon that came past him.
Oh, I thought it was Dubois.
Could have been
Dubois.
Dubois.
Off the wood.
Arnaud Dubois. And but I'm with you, Ross. I can still remember that race that he won just after he'd lost his dad. God, I remember it being emotional. In fact, he said to me, shout out to Bloomer here, because he when we were in Copenhagen, he'd actually say, "Oh, sorry about your mum, Dad, and I lost my mum 6 months ago." And we talked about it. We were like, "Oh, remember that Cheddar race?" Like I can remember the feeling of it just being so emotional. It was Mappy on the mic, wasn't it?
Mappy was on the mic,
and that made
yeah.
it doubly special with Chris commentating.
That was great.
Yeah.
That's cheddar. That's cheddar for you, isn't it? Like,
Going back to that
Amazing.
pump track though at Cheddar, that was shit, wasn't it?
Oh man, do you remember that half pipe that was? It was almost like it was against physics. It was almost like past vertical. I don't understand anyone. I remember I crashed there. We just got to Cheddar. I pulled up, and back then I had a little fit bike, and I'd crashed in the first lap of the pump track. And I remember my dad just kind of bringing me back to the caravan, and I got a proper speaking to, because it was like. He was definitely wasn't a factory dad. Like, I think my old man's probably, I can't fault anything he did. Like, he was super chill. He was obviously very supportive. But we laugh about some of the stories now. He was, Cheddar was just feral, mate. It was absolutely feral. I kind of wish I could experience it, even as like a 16-year-old or a 20-year-old. I feel like
we did that. I'll tell you, it gets more feral.
I feel like it'd be a different experience for sure.
we're gonna.
Yeah,
have
it doesn't get any better at all.
Ross.
We do need a Cheddar episode.
We'll have to dedicate it, because one of the questions I was going to have, and make sure you don't say anything that might upset your sponsors, but as a child athlete, you were one of those kids that quite easily your parents could go, you got to get early to bed, Ross, and you can't be playing on your Razor scooter at the skate park, and you can't be doing this because there's a good chance of winning tomorrow. Did you actually get away with any of the fun that kids do get away with at BMX races?
Massively, absolutely massively. I was always playing football, pulling over, grazing my elbows, doing everything. People, I think, because of how I train now and how I live my life and how dedicated I am to the sport, and people are like, I wonder how you can do that. It's because I didn't do it as a kid. I feel like a lot of the kids nowadays are out doing sprints 3 times a week. They're doing gym from 13. They're doing this, they're doing that. I mean, I didn't lift a weight until I was 16, 17. Until that point, I was really just kind of doing sessions at the club with Ian. Then it was Mark Seaman. Dylan had a bit of involvement as well. And then it was on to Marcus. But before I got picked up by British Cycling, I just used to ride my bike. My dad used to drop me off at the skate park 2 days a week, and I'd be there all day. And he used to drop me off at the track 2 days a week, and I'd be there all day. And that was it. I think, kids are kids. Like, we started BMX because it's fun. That's why we still do it. And I'm really happy that my dad kept it that way. He really wasn't. He wasn't a factory dad in any sense, apart from drilling holes in every single chain ring and I had to make it lighter. He wasn't a factory dad in any other way.
Tinkerer.
Oh, him and Jamie Hall were the worst. I remember Jamie Hall used to make his own number plates. It's fantastic because they went to karting. He used to come back and kind of make this own PVC plate because it was lighter. Him and Dad had a serious OCD about bikes weighing the same as a feather, which is, hey, if you're going to do it, you've got to go all in.
Oh, right, yes. Well, he used to do everything for you, because I remember when, you must have been about 17, 18 when we did the tyre change challenge, and you couldn't even change a tyre.
No, and that haunted me for a long time, because that was 2018, so I was 17. And back then I still lived at home. Oh, I'd still kind of be like, Dad, will you do this for me? And I knew how to do it, but I wasn't very handy. And then when I moved to Manchester when I was 18, I learnt the hard way. Like, I remember if I had a puncture in a session, I'd be like an hour in, I'd miss an hour of training. But the team were great. Nobody kind of came and did it for you. No mechanic did it. You learned. And now, I told you the week, didn't I, Sean? I timed it. I did one.
Yeah.
I should have I had training. And I managed to put it kind of back together in about 3.5, 4 minutes. And I was like, just if this was like 6 years ago, I would have been okay.
Love that.
Let's do it.
So mechanics, race day, you have a mechanic, yeah? Would they let you do it yourself, or would they go, you sit down, you need to chill out?
So it's a funny setup. So I have a personal mechanic. He's actually more a scientist. He's a dad from Preston called Dan, and he has work wonders, mate. So he basically changes all the internals in my wheels, and he has a couple of other tricks up his sleeve, and they run ridiculous. Like, I only run them on race days, and then they get fully stripped after. Some days I'll have kind of a set of wheels for each race day because they've got that little grease in. But without going into details, he's a clever man. So he does everything before we leave. And while I'm here, when I'm at a trip, all the mechanical really do is is clean the bike after each lap. I don't really like people messing with it on race day.
Get
If
that.
I get away without it, and even if there was a break and I had a puncture, I'd rather do it myself. I feel like I don't know. If my own mechanic was there, he'd be doing it all. But I don't know. I'm a bit funny with who touches my bike. It's either myself or my dad or him, and that's normally it. I'm not a fan of other people tinkering.
Who builds it for you when you get like a new frame, new set of bars? Because bar angles are the things that would drive most people bananas. Do you set that yourself, or does your mechanic set it?
Either or. So I have all the measurements anyway, but so does he. So normally we'll just go and do it together. We'll just go and sit in his garage and we'll set it up. Or I am getting quite nerdy with the setup. Sometimes I'll just go around to his for 3-4 hours and we'll just play with different things. We'll try different things out. We'll come up with some ideas. Some work, some don't. So I think it's quite refreshing to do that. But I don't like changing things. I have a rule: if it's not broken, don't fix it, and I stick by that. Unless a component's done me wrong, I'll just keep using it until it's no more.
I love that. I love that. You're not quite
You're
like.
dying for an invite, Booter, aren't you?
This is me all over, Ross. This is like the science behind it. It gets exciting. So you're not quite like getting like David Graff levels, in terms of like trying to try out anything wacky. There's nothing on your bike that's. I mean, you don't need to tell us specifics, but I'm guessing you're on like ceramic bearings. You've got no bushings in any of your bearings or anything like that on your race wheels. But do you have anything that's like truly custom to you, or is it pretty much off the peg stuff that's on your bike?
Yeah. So before Paris, me and Kev came up with the idea that I was in between. I liked running a 50/18 and I liked a 51/18, but I was almost in between them, and we really wanted something in the middle that was still a big on the front. So I don't like running like a 45/16 because I don't like the small front ring, because I prefer the bigger rotation angle. It kind of feels more loaded in the first pedal. It feels more whippy into two. I've just always liked it. So we had a 55 made. So just before the games, I had a 55 and a 20 made, which obviously had never been done. And I've raced that since. So that's been my... I guess I don't know. I don't think anyone else has ever had one done. But I love it. I think it's great. And it just looks ridiculous as well. So I think that's another reason I'll never take it off, is it obviously works really well. I don't know. It just seemed to work. Me and Kev put it on and straight away I was like, that gear's amazing. Like I'd never felt anything. I'd never pedaled anything like it. It was quite a strange feeling. Even when Kev rode it, he was like, mate, that's a one. So I think we'll be sticking on that for the rest of my career.
I know Kev liked the kind of the science behind it as well. And I know you've got like rollout on gears. Like, what's the science about actually having that much chain on the bike though? Like you said, it feels loaded on the first crank, comes around quick on number two. But what is the science there? Like might be the same rollout as a 45/16, but why does it feel better to you?
So I think for me, arguably, I've got more chain engagement. So I'm guessing if you're really nitpicking, you could say you've got more teeth engaged. So
More teeth engaged, yeah.
Yeah, but equally for me, I don't know how to describe it. It's more the size of the disc. It just feels as if, like, if I think of a 44/16, it almost feels to me like I'm too punchy in my first pedal. Where it almost feels like you're half a tooth overgeared in the first half of your pedal, and after that it becomes into your normal gear. I know it's not doing that, but it just has that feel to it. Which I think it's great. I love it. And Schwalbe been a great. I've done a year with Schwalbe now, and hopefully going to re-sign with them for another year. They came and did some testing with me in Verona in March, pre-Euro. And that blew my mind. They were testing, they'd have different compounds. It was like an F1 setup. So they had a couple of different compounds, a couple of different tubes, and they had a list of PSI. So I'd do a start on each tyre with each tube in with, I think it was 5 different PSIs. So like 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, and then it was 85 and 90. So 7 different pressures. And we'd do 3 on each. They'd have all the timing system set up. And then when I left, they had a big meeting with them, with the guys from Germany. And they'd spoke about what they think for each track, what compound I should run where, when I should use the wet one, when I should use a normal, what pressure I should run in different weathers, what the effects is. And it just blew my mind. I remember being on the meeting, like, I've just always put 100 in and that's it, and pumped them up once a week.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, what the hell? I just pump it up to 95 and go.
Yeah, and it really did. opened my eyes to like how dinosaur-y BMX is sometimes. And I'm not saying it doesn't have to be. That's equally why I love the sport. Is some people just jump on stuff and run, but I really enjoyed, getting a bit nerdy with it and kind of taking that on board. And look, it obviously didn't do me any harm this year. Those tires run, they run ridiculously fast. I love them.
Mate, next
Love to wear 'em.
national, I'm coming up to you. I'm going, what PSI are we on today then? Because that's.
Sure,
I'm on
sure
my
your bike's
95.
not been
I'm
washed
not-
in 10 years.
Well,
Yeah,
there's that
yeah.
as well, yeah.
I'd be happy if you got 5 chainring bolts in.
Hey, I bought a new bike. We'll keep that. Well, that's where it is.
Oh, we'll have to do a reveal if you bought a new bike at some point.
You
Oh,
won't be
there's-
happy with it, Ross.
There's an asterisk on this.
Oh,
You bought a new bike, but it's a bike to suit his stage of life, Dex.
yeah.
I know what it is now. Well,
You know exactly
we'll
what it
reveal
is.
that properly. Yeah.
I think, Ross, you're probably going to run out of time, aren't you?
Yeah, we
So-
probably need to do a prize because your dinner might be burning.
Don't worry, you've got another 10 minutes if you need me. I'll have it crispy.
So going back to you saying, on the food. No, forget the thing a minute. On the food, you've got a sponsor, right? That I need to talk to you about. This bloody butchers.
Yeah.
How's this even come about? How'd you get sponsored by a butcher?
So I enjoy eating well and I try and stay away from processed foods. Even like supermarket meats, I like to get everything from a local market. So I buy a lot of my fruit, my veg, my fish, my meat, all from the market in Preston. And I'll get like, I don't know, pastas, tin stuff from Aldi. So I was going to this butcher's and my family's used him for quite a couple of years. Lives his butcher's in town. So, and he's kind of into sport and he ended up supporting a few athletes and without him knowing, he started watching a bit of racing. So when I'd be going, when you going racing, mate? And then he'd be like, bang, he'd start watching it. And then he'd be asking me questions about training. And then up to the Olympics, he said, look, mate, he said, I want to kind of sort you out up until the games. So he said, look, I'll just give you obviously all the meats on me for whatever you need for a week.
What a guy.
Let's do it. And then after it, I just kind of sent him a big card and a thank you and a present. And then he's like, yeah, we'll just continue. And they're super chill. And I love that, mate. Like that's right up my street. They're in the
That's a
centre.
dream.
So you get free meat. That's your sponsor deal.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Mate, that's sick.
Yeah. But look, and people laugh and joke and think like, come on, like that's not really a big deal. But if you think, bear in mind,
Mate, that is a big deal.
It is a big deal.
I pick up 4.5 kilos of meat each week from steak, and it's not cheap meat. There's a couple of sirloins in there. There's steak mince. It's chicken breast. So it would cost me a fair bit of money. I just love it. I think he's great. Like it's literally my local butcher was like, mate, I want to get behind you. And he keeps saying now, he's like, I can't wait for the next Olympics. He was like, mate, he's like, I need you to get a medal. He's like, he's so cool. He genuinely cares and like he doesn't want anything back for it. He's just him and his dad. That butcher's been open for years and years. It's like generational. So yeah, I mean,
So
I
what's
love
he
it.
called? What's the butchers?
They're called Livesey's Butchers.
These butchers. You need
Has
to
he got
buy
an
a
Instagram
Traeger.
page?
Yeah, shout out to Livesies.
Yeah, big
Shout out
out.
Livesies. But buy yourself a smoker. I can't recommend it enough. You're going to love that. Sunday afternoons, massive slab of meat.
I fancied that. I do need to get one. I think they're the ones that look like the eggs, aren't they? Like the big kind of dome things.
There's loads of different types. Yeah.
He's proper Aussie now, isn't he?
I know. We
I
don't have
love
the
it.
Preston.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
They run in the cold.
It will be the next deal now. We will see it in about 3 weeks' time. Ross has got a new sponsor. He's got a
Yeah.
smoking deal.
I love it. Yeah, that's it. I just, instead of impulse buying, I'm just, I'll just reach out to someone. No, I don't.
Do you know what? Why not though? And this is what drives me mad with some BMXs. Like we fanboy you off, and the RC22 fan club and all that kind of stuff. But the way that any advice that you could give to kids would be how you just take Ross's profile and how to get stuff and how to look professional, and you'll be all right, kids. You'll be getting free food. Look, come on. How many athletes are getting free food?
And it is pretty cool. I mean, like some of the events and some of the places I've been in the past couple of weeks, whether it's getting invited to private track days with BMW, whether it's some of the stuff I've done. I've been looking back thinking like, what am I doing here? Like I'm looking around at people in the room and they're like, there's guys that I remember one of the events I got invited by Reebok, random email, wanted to come to this event, not a clue how I got it. So I'm like, I just turned up. And I was like, I think the other person in the room that had the smallest following apart from me was like 300-400K. Everyone else in there was like guys from Love Island. There was like football players. And I'm like, what am I doing here? And the weird thing is, I don't try and push too much out. I just kind of try and post authentic stuff as and when I feel like it. I try to align with brands that I agree in and act to use. So I've had a couple of companies reach out without naming names that A, I wouldn't use a product, or B, it's something that I don't really agree with, or I wouldn't use. So and even if it's something, it's hard sometimes, because if they're offering a bit of a tasty deal, it's hard to turn down. But equally, me and my dad said when I was like 13, the one bit of advice he gave me is just don't chase the dollar signs, in a sense of, if somebody comes around and it's like really nothing you'd use, and somebody's offering you a couple of £100 to post it as a 15-year-old, don't do it. And I still stick by that now. I enjoy supporting brands and working with brands that I'd actually use day to day and that I think align well. And that's it, mate. I mean, don't get me wrong, by no means am I doing incredibly well. I'm not doing better than most people out there in terms of an athlete. But look, I'm really grateful for the support I have. I think I built a nice little network that, yeah, I continue building. I'm going to have a smoker soon as well, so that'll be the next one.
I think the fans can see it, Ross. I think it comes across genuine. Like we say, we do joke about being an RC22 fan club, but it's because we're a little bit later in life and we can see sort of genuine people, genuine athletes, genuine kind of like approaches to sport, and appreciate the professionalism that you put out there. So well done. And I think things like just portraying a professional image for the sort of younger guys in the sport to follow. Really, I would point anyone towards your kind of following for the sort of genuine content that you put out. Just a little insight into your preparation and a little bit. You know what? You should do a little bit on the science of your bikes out, because that just might just twig someone's mind and think, oh, I was thinking about that myself, and I was wondering how elite athletes, prepare themselves in terms of their bike.
Don't give anything away, though. God.
Anyway, I've actually got a quick question for you as well, Ross. You do some videography, and it appears that you've got some sort of agency, sort of media production. Can you elaborate on that? What you do is you've got a friend, is it a partner that you do sort of jobs for, in terms of jobs with, should I say, in terms of working with brands? Can you say what you do on that?
Yeah, so before I went full time, and before I got an APA with UK Sport, I used to work, so I didn't go to college. So I worked at Halfords and I worked as a painter and decorator. So it wasn't my proudest years, but look, I had to get money to get me to Manchester to training back then. I didn't really have any sponsors, just the bank and mum and dad, and that burnt dry. Dad was like, "You're 17 now, mate. You got to sort yourself out." So that kind of taught me that I can earn money. Like, I don't have to. You shouldn't always have to beg people for stuff. You shouldn't always try and sell yourself or anything. And in lockdown, I just bought a camera to film some training and thought, you know what, I'm not bad at this. And I actually filmed Andy Clux's wedding as a favour for him. And off the back of that, I watched the video back and I was like, this actually isn't that bad. Like, I could earn some money from this. So from 2020, I think it was 2022, up until end of 2023, I was doing probably a film job a week for different companies, van companies, every aspect of life, corporate stuff, sports stuff. It was really varied. And then during the Olympic season, I was like, I need to shut this down and just really hone in on training. But yeah, coming into the winter, I've got a friend that I've kind of opened it back up with, and we've said, look, we want to do a bit of work. And so far, we've probably done 2 jobs a week for the past 5-6 weeks, which is great. I mean, that's covered me for grands. That's what I booked my flights with. So I think
incredible.
It's quite important. And even though people say you maybe shouldn't have to do that, but equally, it's part of the game. Look, you can't expect everything to kind of be given to me. Yes, in an ideal world, I wouldn't be doing that, and you could just kind of live off it. But equally, the other side of it is I enjoy it. Like, I get to go and film some stuff with my best friend that we've been best friends for years and years, and it's a switch off to BMX, which I need massively. Like, I think it's important. Robot. Yeah, I'm too like laser tunnel vision sometimes. I need to be pulled away and just be like, mate, have a day of not thinking of it. So it's really good. I enjoy it.
Good.
I think it's the retirement plan, isn't it, as well? Like, there's always life after BMX, and we're not, I say we, but you lot as BMXs is you're not retiring on BMX money. Let's be honest.
No.
There needs to be something else. So
Of course, yeah, and that's what British Cycling were really good in pushing that, and that was what stirred it on. We get an allowance by UK Sport to learn something, educational purposes or for life after sport. And it was in 2020, I think. I did a video editing course online, and yeah, that kind of set me off, and kind of I found my passion for it. But it's good for the social media as well. I think even just being able to film content for sponsors is really important. I mean, it kind of annoys me because I wish social media wasn't so important, but it is, and I have to work with it that way. If I didn't have to look at my phone all the time and edit and upload stuff, obviously you wouldn't, but I know it's important that if I want to build my brand and have something in the sport, especially for when I retire, I think it's got to be done. I think you've got to look after that side as well.
you don't put a bad post out, do you?
What's that?
You don't put a bad post out. It's always well thought out.
Well, sometimes. I mean, Booter actually gave me my last song recommendation. I was setting a reel up, and it was really weird. And I was searching for a song, and it was like he knew. I thought he was tapping my phone, and he said, "Mate, check this song out." And I was like, "That's going straight on." It got posted straight away. So I think Booter's now my new social media manager. I think
That's fine.
Well, on the topic of 22, because that was the song, wasn't it? The 2-2. Rick Ross, wasn't it?
yeah, hustling.
We obviously did the competition, right? How many entries do you think we got?
I have no clue.
We were one short of 22.
No way.
I was livid. I said to my missus, I was like, get the kids to enter. Like, you enter. Just make it 22. Obviously, she didn't. We can't enter our own competition here, guys.
That's
so
weird.
we can do the reveal if you want.
Well, if
Pick a name.
Yeah, if you pick a name, that'd be great. I think my plan is, I've got a couple of ideas in mind, but I'm not going to share what I'm actually going to post out yet. I think whoever wins it's going to get a surprise through the door.
Okay, here we go then. So what I'll do is, me being me, I am organised sometimes. I'm going to share my screen.
I'm impressed with this. I'm
You
impressed
happy with
with
this?
the work you've done.
But I've pressed the wrong button here.
All right.
No, yeah, well,
just change the tab.
Oh.
Infinite share. Oh, here we are.
Is that it? Are we in?
We're in.
Yeah.
Right,
names
what do
are
I
up.
do then? These are all the names, so I just click it. Is that what I do?
Yeah, man.
Here we go then. Spent a bit of time on this. Here we go. There's your winner then. 8. I'll figure out who that is. We'll message him, and we'll go from there. I better
Okay, well
take a picture
done.
of that because I will forget that. There we go.
Well, luckily
Here's your
we're
winner.
recording it as well.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Didn't really fit. Right, stop
No,
sharing.
infinite share. Stop. There we are.
Have I done it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm out.
I've got a surprise coming for you soon as well. I may be getting some merch done. I'm in some design process of some merch. So I think if there's 3 people that deserve the t-shirts first, and I'm expecting nothing less than the AP support when you're out at work.
Oh mate, we'll be there.
Yeah,
They're not dressing up
100%.
as a woman though. They will leave that to your dad.
As soon as finalised, I'll get them over to you, and you can test them out for me.
We'll
I
we'll link
appreciate
up,
it.
Ross. I don't want you to go through any expense for sending out any kind of goodie to our winner. So we'll link up, and I'll meet you or something, and we'll figure that one out.
Yeah,
Big
Thank
shout
you
out
for the
to
support.
Louis and Ross for that. Right, we better let you get off because you need to go get some food, and that will be burning in a second.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's crispy
I'll go.
steak.
Well,
and
I
we
would-
appreciate this massively.
But when
Yeah.
when you leave, because we didn't prepare this, Ross, and we don't do things properly. Don't shut down the studio until you're fully uploaded when you switch your camera off, because then all your content will just get there. It should load pretty quick, but we should have had that conversation.
You can press
before, we
leave,
never
yeah,
did.
but you can not shut
Right,
the window
boys.
down.
I
Thanks for the
enjoyed-
support, Ross.
No worries.
Do Rob? Who the hell's Rob? We're getting the coaches on.
We'll cut that one out.
Right, boys, I'm checking out. See you later.
Sound. Enjoy.
Yeah.
See you later,
Good
mate.
night.
Nice one.
Bye, mate.
What a guy.
What a thoroughly nice chat.
First guest.
First guest,
I
and
think
it
it
was
went
his microphone that was very loud.
Yeah, all
but
the
AI
hiss
will
has
sort
gone.
that out.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
reckon.
and I'm
Riverside
sure
will
that
sort
on the
out his
edit you
bad
won't
mic.
actually hear that. But I mean, obviously we know Ross anyway, but I just like his approach to things. He's just a consummate professional. I can't believe how young he is. He's like an old man, but on a elite athlete's body. And I think it just feels and looks like he's grabbing everything with both hands and doing it in the right way.
His parents are sound though, aren't they? You can tell when someone's been brought up well.
Yeah, he's a good kid.
Yeah, but like every family does it different, so you can't lecture. But there's a really good lesson in that you don't have to overcook it to have a successful athlete in the family. You know, you can let them be a kid, you can let them have fun. You know, tell them off when they've done something they shouldn't, and you know, you don't have to overcook it if you don't want to.
I actually
find it interesting about his how he feels like he's got imposter syndrome quite a bit in terms of those early years of getting up on there thinking, I probably don't belong here, but he actually bloody does when he's putting out them times. And we've said it for a while. Once he puts that lap together, that's going to be the big one. And now he's done it, so let's see where that trajectory goes.
What's the biggest gate you've ever lined up on? And
I don't think much in life. So I actually really, and this is why I've always done better in Brits. I flipping love pressure. The Brits is the pinnacle for me. And I've always been the one that if I get that one lap, because I won't win. And who was it I was talking about? I was saying this I think it was my first retirement kind of race. And I didn't win a race all day. I was just kind of chilling. Louis Mapp, that was it. He kept coming up going, "Oh, you're not going to win. You're not going to win." Like, what's it? I said, "Mate, you only have to win one lap. That's all you need to do."
Oh, Maris over here.
Oh, no, God, no. I'm never going to. I'm not claiming to be a superstar here, guys. Like, I don't know. I'd have to have more thinking time to think about the biggest race. But obviously, we've raced big people at the time. Like me and Clucas used to have some battles. I'd probably have to go to, like, if I think back to our Europeans, I was lining up with people like Roy van der Berg, Martin Sherpin. Our age group was stacked. Was Tremanis in our age group as well?
Yeah, I think he was. I think you're talking your Geordie van der Heijden.
Like, I was in semi-finals with them, and then later on, like, with your Robin van der Kolks and all them lot. But
I've shared a gate with Maris.
Have you actually? I didn't know that.
Yeah. And during the Euro round, it was obviously tore everyone off. But
you did, or he did?
Yeah, I certainly did. I certainly did not. But yeah, you. There's been some. You've done world semis and big high profile Euro finals. So there's definitely been them big pressure moments. But they were in terms of us growing up in that era. I think there was nothing. Those finals weren't to be sniffed at even at a Brits level, were they? There were some big stars in them.
Yeah, I mean, I remember because I always raced up an age group. So I raced up an age group from the age of about 11. I moved up, and then we had Liam who moved up too. So me, Liam, Robbie Goodman were all racing up with the likes of Tuftsy, Scott Waterhouse, Gamble. It was stacked, and we pushed each other. But yeah, I just never. My issue was I went to uni and started drinking. Everyone became an athlete, and I was like, nah.
Sounds like it didn't phase you though, because when you rock up in the pens and Maris is next to you, or I think some of the scariest people I've lined up against. Doris Brink, and like he's just 1,000 leagues ahead, and he could smash you over any turn. And I wasn't a great racer, and you go, shit, I'm on the gate next to Brink now.
I was always just give me one opportunity, and I'm gonna take it. I'm not one for regrets. So if there's a move on, I'm going for it, and I think people know that of me. Especially in the Masters now, as we've got older, it's like, oh shit. And I mean, John Lilliston, he found out, didn't he? And we laugh about this all the time, but he just gave me that moment. I thought, I'm having it. Hate me or love me.
Right. Well, so what homework have we done since we last got together? The dream gate of 8 went down really well. I think we spent a little bit of time thinking about our dream track. Since we last got together.
So me and Buta went on holiday, obviously, which was quite highly documented. We went to Lanzarote. So we get down the beach, right? This is where this whole scenario comes from. We get down the beach and kids are playing building sandcastles. We're thinking, what the hell are they doing? Let's just do something proper. So we start building BMX tracks. So they want to help. I'm going, you ain't helping because you're just ruining it. Like this needs to be done properly. And there was a point where I told Booter to clear off as well.
I was bad at it, but we were like, we did build a hill, and then we're like, what's the first step up going to be? Oh no, the step up into the first turn's got to be cheddar. It's got to be the tall, like banked lander into it. Yeah, favorite track in terms of how it's put together. I'm a bit gutted actually, Sean, because after we did our Gate of 8, I am gutted I didn't choose Chula because I think Chula under the lights. Do you know what? Thinking back, I don't know if there's an awful lot that you can improve on.
Because Cal joined. So we sent this to Cal Strickland. Obviously, he's got knowledge. And Booter and Cal are the two people with knowledge, and they're the two people I look up to in terms of if any kind of if I want to know dates, who won what, they're the two that I go to. And he sent a voicemail back, didn't he? Or did he said he'd have gone Chula as well, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, and I sort of realised on reflection, I might not regret it, but like I said Valkenswaard 2004 based on what it felt like on that day. And I've never been to Chula. But then I think, well, actually, what are those classic laps that we did see, those battles that we did see on that? You know, even, I forgot about you have to be fast on the track. You have to be fast on the track.
You have to be fast on the track.
Just T-boning Caelan Young in the last turn. Yeah. The moments, the Nick Long lap where he bounced to Mark Willers. No, it's Sam that bounced Mark Willers off into the podium.
Into the crowd. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll always tell Bloomy about him winning that semi and getting into the main in 2010, I think it was. I think my track's Chula. I think if you were saying me, you know, build a track, I think I'd say, okay, it's in Southern California. There's an 8 meter. It's a downhill layout. There's a berm jump. It's under the lights. I'm not sure I could improve it.
Do you know what I'd do? Right, because I've thought about this, and if I had enough times a day, I was going to draw the design. I'm going to completely change BMX because I keep seeing American BMX tracks. They go all over the gaff, right? And I rate that a little bit, and part of me hates it as well. But I think the first straight needs to be a drag strip. I think it needs kind of a short first straight. I think that makes that terrible. I would like to see an 8 meter 4 jump first straight, like almost it's long. Okay, and then I want to see a Valkenswaard 90 at the bottom of that because
90.
I think,
and
mate, honestly, imagine going, and I'm obviously this won't get built because it's not safe, but it's gonna make for good racing. But you're going to do 4 jumps and you're going to be macking and you're probably going to be at 30 plus miles an hour into that 90. Quick 90, but 2 big jumps out of that 90. So you're going to cut 2 off. Two people's race is done. 2 big jumps, and then you're going to do a full 180 back. Again, there's going to be now lots of corners. So you're going to go 180 back, another like a rhythm straight to get your speed going. Because after that 180 is going to be carnage.
You are going US here, aren't you? It's funny because I've gone Chula, which was your track for your Gate of 8, and you're starting to do a little bit of Valkenswaard.
No, my Gate of 8 is different to like a race I would want to see, a track that I want to see people racing on.
Go on, Dex, what's yours? I think I'm going to continue
that sounds
to change my
carnage,
mind.
doesn't it? Tell me.
Oh, it does sound carnage, yeah. And I'm interested, and it is different to Gate of 8. One of the things I just wanted to ask on the Chula thing, because we had a chat off air before we started, and I think Sylvan had said in the recent coffee chatter that the tracks weren't hard anymore. So, you know, Chula's like your epitome of BMX. It's your peak. It's 2008 sort of time. Was that a hard track or an easy track?
Steep and deep, wasn't it? I think it was one of them. When I think back to Chula, it didn't feel massive. Again, I've never raced it, but it didn't feel, when I'm watching it, didn't feel massive, but people were having to float over jumps to get backside. Whereas nowadays, people don't seem to do that. You can just hit a track 100%, which he was saying was kind of, you don't race the track anymore, you race the people. But he says he didn't like that because it was a little bit more dangerous. I think I'm paraphrasing, but I think that's what he said. So I think sometimes smaller tracks might be harder tracks.
Yeah, there's
harder to get downside.
Chance of a differential. There's if you are going to get it wrong, then you're going to gain you're going to lose half a bike. Take Papendal, for example. I think these guys can hit that full chat, and 8 guys can get around it safe. So
Yeah.
it's 8 guys going 110% because the track isn't holding them back in any way. So I think that's maybe what he was talking about.
There's nothing more exciting, and I've kind of watched a few races, and I've been lucky enough to be involved with some of them overseas. But there's nothing ever been more exciting to me than watching people do the Manchester Indoor, because it's just a little bit too small. And watching the fastest riders on earth trying to cram their bike down on that second pro straight it's created the most exciting nights of my life, watching that from the stands, because they're just wrestling it to get it in. Yeah, so I'm going back a few years. I'm going back 10 years. I don't know what the track looks like now, but it was too small, and it made for great racing.
I still think I personally don't think Manchester's fit for purpose. We could have probably asked Ross, but he wouldn't have said it, would he? Because I just think it is too small for him nowadays. I tell you, we need to get on then. Here's something else then. Clark and Kent. Get on Clark and Kent, and we'll talk about track design.
It'd be an interesting insight.
Yeah, because
stories.
Yeah, they've got construction stories. They'll understand what happens behind the scenes from a paperwork. So the people that are writing the checks, they'll know what they're asking for. They'll know what the riders are asking for. They're in a relatively, well, not so much of a unique position anymore, but high quality riders as well. So they really understand what they're building. There's a few more rider track builders now than I think when Clark and Kent started. But yeah, they kind of understand every dimension of track building.
We could talk South Africa Worlds with them as well, because that was a carnage trip that I went on with them.
Do you think we'll see another Zell Tours, or is he out of the game? Do you think Zell Tours will do an Australia trip? He should do an Australia trip.
Yeah,
they were good.
Still getting about.
They were quality.
I noticed that Marco had been to South Africa a couple of times in the last month.
Mate, we need to talk about this, actually.
He gets about.
Did you see this track in South Africa? It's next to a safari.
Yeah.
Elephants
didn't work out where it
walking
was.
trackside.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looked like one of them was a bit of a business trip. Stay Strong, I'd noticed. He'd posted up. And then I think the second one had taken his daughter. But there was a track that was beside a safari park. It's
so weird.
Unreal.
Like full-on restaurant the other side as well. You can sit and have a full-on 3-course meal whilst watching BMX Carnage. That just seems like a perfect South African setup.
That might be the future of the sport.
Well, here's a thought. So we reminisced about Cheddar when we had Ross on, and we spoke about how everyone could stay on site and how we really had it good. If I was a sugar daddy now for BMX, how unreal would a resort be? To build a track on a resort or on a sort of sports campus, La Santa in Lanzarote, where Sean and I have been. They've got, that's almost like a campus, isn't it, Sean, where you can train all sorts of sports.
Yeah, La Santa is. I mean, Lanzarote would be a bit terrible place to because how windy it is. But yeah, have a sports complex that people could go warm weather training. Like the Arrecife one, not Arrecife, sorry, the Alicante bike park. I mean, Ross went there, actually. We should have asked him about this. Shame he's still not on. That looks good.
Sorry, I was getting excited and jumping in on there, Sean.
Go on.
Shout out to whoever has been involved in Cullen, Trey and Kai's trip to the south of France this past week.
I think that was them. I think Cullen organised it.
I think it looks like Cullen potentially, because I know he does clinics and, well, I know traders as well, actually, that they've taken a bunch of kids to south of France and hosted them. Is there opportunity to have something that's a little bit more formal than that they can, there's a track that you can host somewhere. I believe Portugal had something similar. A lot of people used to go and do camps at Portugal. There's a supercross track that Clark and Kent built in Portugal.
Well, it's funny, on the topic of Portugal, someone I know from Leicester, Ben Rafferty, he used to race years ago. He was in Faro. Is it Faro? Faro? He was in Portugal. And remember Renato da Silva, who used to race Josh Barsby? He lives in Faro and has a BMX track in his back garden. He came across it. He saw it he went on Google Maps and saw there was a BMX track, tried to go and see it, but then realised it's in someone's house. It's Renato da Silva's house. Yeah. and it's serious.
It's one of them things that we spoke about this before. It'd never be financially viable. You'd be burning pound notes. But
Be sick though, wouldn't it?
we would love to think that there would be the opportunity for something like that in the future, but it would take massive corporate backing.
It would,
or
yeah.
the
Well,
lottery.
or it would take wouldn't have to take corporate backing. It could just take a sugar daddy. So Cheddar was the perfect arrangement. It was a holiday park that people go on holiday in for 51
Pete
weeks.
Phillips
of the
got
year.
involved, didn't he? Because he lived round the corner.
1 week of the year, build a track there. 1 week of the year, that holiday park is booked out by a whole different demographic of people and the race. So if you could you imagine it from another sugar daddy perspective? You took some other holiday venue, whether it's resort, holiday park, hotel, and said, that field out the back that you've just got and a couple of old buses parked in, can I just build a track? And once or twice a year, we're going to fill this place. Well, Butlins is the era I completely missed, but that kind of happened, didn't it? Were those tracks purpose built at Butlins?
We had, we had American Adventure. American Adventure was a theme park in the Midlands area, and they had a track there, and we used to go and race there. I want to say early 90s, really early 90s, or I'm sure it was. But yeah, that was cool.
And was that track there all the
Butlins.
time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. I don't know. I was really, really young. I can't remember. But the Butlins ones, and was that like the Kellogg's era and all that kind of stuff?
Kellogg's was 80s. I don't know if it went through to the 90s. I do remember doing a Kellogg's racing at Gateshead, which will have been around 84.
This is where we need Scott Dick. When we come with the Scott Dick podcast, he'll tell
us
us about
3
these
hours
ones.
for that one.
Wexing it up.
We'll get some stories. So
Yeah.
Dream Track, have we kind of... we haven't done
Ours is
that one to
carnage.
death. We've decided that Booter's Dream Track's Chula. Yours just goes all over the place. And for me, I'd probably build something with a small hill. Because I think back to all my favourite tracks, and the small hills I just love the best. Yeah. Does Peterborough have a small hill? That one keeps sticking in my head.
Peterborough's a nice low hill, yeah, good drag.
Yeah, good
I
drag.
think they raised it recently, but I used to love Peterborough. That was the track, and weirdly, because this isn't me, but as a kid, that was the one that I won most of my nationals at. Because the first straight was just over 2 speed jumps, up and over a really long table, and it was just pedaling all the time, like sprinting through. I used to be okay at that, but then I got older and didn't used to bother. But I used to love it, and then you'd mac around the corner and just send that big double. I went there recently. That big double's not that big anymore. It's tiny.
Happens, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you get bigger, they get smaller. Peterborough I loved. And I love that kind of old school drag and little hill. But I also love a really modern, well, I'm going to say modern. Like I'm going back 10 years because I haven't really ridden a track since, but quite a complex rhythm straight with some rollers and tables, and you can kind of be, nose manual the table to manual the roller to some step up, steps down. I love a really complex rhythm.
There was a lot. Peterborough had a lot. Peterborough used to be one of my favourite nationals for many reasons. The racing was good. I always did well. The third straight Saturday night practice watching elites and trying to get involved in setting lines with, like, you're looking at Wazza, Bloomy trying to do different lines down the third straight, and everyone's just watching. They also then had the King of Dirt in the middle of the track that used to come off the big hill.
Yeah.
And people were doing that. Someone's bike would get nicked every national, and a punch-up would happen with the locals.
There would be a fight. Yeah.
There was a beer tent. They always had a beer marquee for some reason. Overlooked now. That's something that needs to happen. Like Peterborough, as much as in a hole, had everything.
Mm. Even the races I went to, there'd always be some, like Rich Eames would be on the mic halfway through the day going, there's some scroats around, keep an eye out. We got some undesirables.
Yeah, knowing Rich, it would be, they'd never say scrote, he'd always be saying...
He wouldn't say scrote, it was something else.
There'd be some
Desirable.
Undesirables or pond life on the prowl.
Yeah.
Keep an eye out for...
life. You could say that.
Yeah, keep an eye out for your bike.
Another one
unfortunately would happen quite a bit, yeah.
Oh God, yeah. My brother's bike got nicked, and we went back a couple of weeks later and bought it for 20 quid. We bought it back. It was the Webco. I've still got it. In fact, I gave it to JJ, Johnny Hearn, to sell, but I don't think he sold it yet. But yeah, going back to Peterborough, the stones, like, can you remember the stones after the finish line and all around the area? It was just impossible to walk or ride anywhere
In clip shoes.
It's just, whose idea was it to put stones there?
Yeah. Good times.
Hey, the Grands. So this was a question I was going to ask, actually, because I know that Aussie Bruce is going to the Grands to do the old guy racing. Have you ever been there, Sean?
I've never done the Grands, and the reason being, it's me working in a school. I can't get the time off to do it. It's one of the things I've always wanted to do, but not been completely asked about it because of the structure of it. Just
I think
be
it's a big
inside for
commitment.
3 days. Yeah.
It's Tulsa as well, you know, it's a lot of time. It's a connecting flight. It's a big trip. I think it's not exactly a desirable location.
It's a rough area, isn't it?
But it's obviously the greatest race on earth. That's the thing. And the end
Is
of the
it
season.
though, right? Is it?
No, I'm using their tagline. It is a little bit
Americans
like,
love this, don't it?
they do love to say that they're the world championship of baseball, and you know only them and Japan play. So like, it's got the theatre, hasn't it? Because of the way that they structure their pro series, how it finishes at the Grands, and there's pro points, double points, and the rock happens and stuff.
Yeah.
I think most of it's nostalgia. If you broke it down to the quality of the racing, obviously, I'd rather watch a World Cup, but that's got to be said. It's just how it ends their season. I think it's got more.
Yeah, you got Race of
we've got
Champions,
more
you got
lore,
Hall of
hasn't it?
Fame.
Yeah.
All the US pros, everyone's
lights.
there. But is it the greatest race on earth? Well, it depends what you want. You know, if you want to be exchanging your months for Dutch lagers and, you know, you want strippers at the after party, probably not.
No, we're going Europe for that.
Yeah.
Here's a question, Sean. Like, are we going Europe next year? I've not looked at the calendar.
I've got it in front of me.
What's on?
Do you want to know? I found this
We're not going to
interesting.
the European Champs because it's a nightmare to get to, isn't it? Because that's
Is that Sarrion? Sarrion, it's a little bit too
'cause it's
deep
the
into
Supra.
France, but it's not got a decent airport link.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm with you on that.
So this is what you've got. The calendar's looking good over the next couple of years. So shout out 15 because it's a way nicer website to look at than anything that the UCI might do, or UEC. So March, round 1, European Cup, Verona.
Love Verona, but I'm not going in March.
It can be a bit chilly. I think I did Criazzo at that sort of time of year and stopped at Venice first, and it was a little bit chilly. Then April, European Cup, Tiel, the Netherlands.
Oh, that's not a bad one.
Then the back end, so that's the start of April. Back end of April, Czech Republic, European Cup.
Is that Easter as well? That might be Easter.
It could be,
Could be Easter holidays. That could be a shout.
Yeah.
Prague.
Is it Benetki?
Benetki, yeah.
That's just outside of
Wow.
Prague.
Could have a few days in
That
Prague.
could be. So
Now
that
we're
could be
interested.
the one. Then
I'd be
you've
stag
got
doing
a
Prague.
French European Cup in May. That's it. Mesmin. Apologies for pronunciations. Then you're into UCI World Cup, Sarrions and Papendal in June, and the Euro Champs in Sarrions at the back end of June. Then you're at the Worlds in Australia, and in July, and then there's a bit of a gap. September, you've got a European Cup in Norway, and then you've got one in Zolder, Belgium.
So the only
if you
ones
want
that are screaming out to me there is either Tiel, because it's in Holland, and I
Yeah.
don't really know. Or we go to Prague.
Prague could be the one. If you
I
want to
tell you
make a
what
podium, old guys,
Go
if you
on.
want to make a podium, go to Norway.
Norway.
It's going to be undersubscribed. It's in September.
take my new
it's far
bike.
away. It's
I was
expensive.
going to say, Sean, reveal your new bike.
What you going to take to Norway for a podium?
Take my cruiser.
He's a cruiser dad. I was telling this joke 15 years ago, and it's finally happened.
I was due a new bike, and instead of getting a 20-inch, I ended up getting a cruiser. But I'm going to ride the 20-inch, obviously, still this year.
Problem is, Sean, is that if you ride that cruiser a bit, you'll never want to get on your 20 again.
My dad rang me and was like, Sean, you ride a cruiser better anyway. You always have done. I'm thinking, hang on a minute.
That's really hard for me to
like
admit,
this?
but do you know what? You get on that cruiser, there's a danger that you don't get off it again.
I'll be double barking. I'll be like Hilly. I'll be double barking. I'm going till I'm 50.
Yeah, he kept it going. Hey, let's just round out next year just for completeness. So October, you've got UCI World Cups in China and then Florida.
We have. Yeah.
So
UCI
two new
points,
venues.
so, isn't it?
Yeah, two new venues, China and Florida. So that'll be interesting. I'm assuming new venue.
Yeah.
Is the Florida one is to be confirmed, right?
It says Sarasota.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so
Sarasota is what I've heard. Yeah.
But the China one will be a brand new venue, I'm guessing.
China one's TBC, yeah.
Someone's
And then as you roll into 27, China gets another World Cup at the start in April. Turkey gets a World Cup.
That's to
Sarasota
give that
gets a
side
World
of the
Cup.
world some UCI chances, isn't it? Chance to get some UCI points. I'd imagine that's why it's a bit more around the world.
Possibly. But then I think from what we've learned during the course of this podcast, it's whichever country's going to put some dollars in as well.
That's also true. Yeah.
So, Turkey's obviously got a bit of money to spend on tourism.
Mm. Do you know what we do need to do, Booter? And it's not going to be going for an event as such, is we do need to do Papendal. But we know that it's going to be kind of, not a lame weekend, that's probably a bit too harsh, but it's going to be a quieter weekend.
So, am I right in saying that, so you still got that calendar up, that Papendal is next year and then does not appear again? Which might make our decision for us, Sean. If we need to see Papendal before it disappears from the calendar, we might only have a short length of time.
If you can stay on site at Papendal, because there's a hotel there, if you can stay on site, stay there, because then you've got no travelling. Yeah, Papendal's in June, and yeah, it doesn't appear again in 27.
I think we've got to do it.
Doesn't appear in 28 either. So
Late
yeah,
to the Gate fans will see us walking around in Papendal in 2026.
Someone made that observation. I can't remember who it was. One of the pros. Excuse me. That disappeared off the calendar. So, what's the deal? Is it going to get a rebuild? Has it been bumped for China? But yeah, I think if the clock's ticking, Sean, might need a road trip.
Do you know what I think is? I don't know if the Dutch use it that much anymore. Are they based there, or are they moved around?
Don't know their structure. And let's face it, we only see it from whoever posts on socials. So I don't know.
We need to message Jamie and see what the deal is.
Yeah, they used to rebuild Papendal to match the Olympic track, but then kind of France threw everything out because it was an open track that everyone knew.
Yeah,
and I guess LA is going to be a purpose-built track, so maybe they'll try and replicate it. Who knows? Like they used to, didn't they? Did they try and replicate the London? Yeah,
they did. Yeah, they did. They did make it because it did the big.
That was the
zigzag
container.
Yeah, the zigzag one. I just think, maybe the LA one might be shrouded in secrecy because it's only going to be built a month beforehand. So
yeah,
we might see a Paris rebuild, a Papendal rebuild. Who knows? They could even try and replicate something in Manchester.
You never know.
Sick. Good.
All right.
I think that's a good place to wrap up.
The end. Yeah. Let's wrap it up. We'll try and do it again earlier. I think I delayed us by at least a week this time.
No,
I tell you what did throw me off, and I'm glad Booter mentioned it yesterday, or today was it, that you lot, and I don't know if people at home will know this, the Aussies don't change their time.
Well,
so
they don't in Queensland.
Half 8 English.
Yeah.
Just make it up, dear.
They don't in Queensland. They do everywhere else, and you should. I think a lot of people in Queensland want it. As I've learned since I've been here, this has been debated for years, and some people like farmers are going, we don't want it because the cows aren't going to know what time they come home. Like, nonsense. We don't want it because we'll get more sunshine and our curtains will get faded. Nonsense. But we still haven't got it. And it's like, it's baking hot outside now. It's 6:52. If you went for a bike ride now, you'd be sweating. If you went for a run now, you'd be sweating. We need daylight savings so we can have a usable temperature to do stuff in the morning. Otherwise, you have to get up at 4 to do anything. Anyway, we don't have it, but everywhere else does. Sydney has it. Perth has it. Northern Territories has it. Everywhere has it.
I love that it's 6:52 a.m. and you're doing a podcast, and now you're going to go work. Like me and Booter, we're going to bed.
Yeah,
it's 9 o'clock at night, and we're going to bed.
I've got a couple of busy days. I'm going to Uluru at the weekend to see the Big Rock.
Big rock.
Yeah. That's going to be. We've booked some bikes for a bike ride around the bottom of it.
Oh, cool.
And I'm hoping it's not going to be too
That'd be
hot.
sick.
Yeah. Get that posted on socials so we can see it.
Rate that.
Yeah, see if there's any natural rock formations that'll make some good doubles for a big pedally bike with a tag along for a kid.
Yeah.
Build a track in the sand.
Right, that's it.
Right.
Let's switch off. See you later.
Cheers, boys.
Peace out.
Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, here they are, late to the gate and racing out of lane 8. Your men, Dex, Booter and Issy.
Riders ready, watch the gate.
Bikes in the van, phone in hand, BMX track in the foreign land. Dex missed his flight, it's late. I don't know why we're late to the gate. Beers and bikes, we ride all night. Euro trips and rider hype. From nationals to car park chats, we chase that dream in new era caps. Sugar daddies in the VIP. BMX moms still faster than me. Dex and Buddha, it's a too. Talking trash, we ride it true. Baggy jeans and studded belts. The body is chaos, nothing else. Clips or flats, deadlifts or squats. Still arguing like it means a lot. Crank it up to 99. UK tracks with Euro lines. We're always slow, we talk a lot. But for real, this is all we've got. Late to the day, y'all.